Hey guys, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Here to do a nice, I wouldn't say a late night stream. I kind of do these a few times a week, hopefully. Trying to do at least two a week. But like always, my name's Jose Najarro. I am a stock market investor. Normally I live stream in the morning, before the market opens around 9 o'clock Eastern time. But today, feel free to let me know in the comments below what stocks you guys want to take a look at. What stocks are you guys excited to see tomorrow? So let's just start off right the bat. Let's just see how the market ended it up today. So let's see. And like always, guys, like I said, feel free to post on the comments. So today was a pretty interesting day. Let me see. You guys should be able to see my screen. So even though the stock market, pretty much everything ended kind of red, I think, or kind of neutral. Growth stocks definitely took a huge hit, and huge growth, right? It was definitely a good day for growth stocks, and right now futures are pretty much flat. I don't really follow futures too much, but I did see overall EV stocks, I want to say, took a huge growth today, right? If we take a look at, let's take a quick look at stock twits, right? You have Plug up 9%. You have Take Two Interactive, right? They did just present earnings. That one is up 4% post market. What else do we have? Walmart was up 2%. They did report earnings today. I feel like a lot of EV stocks. Let's take a look at not Fiverr, Fisker. I forget what ticker that is. FSR. So Fisker was up 8%, right? We have a lot of EV companies that did great today. So guys, like I said, feel free to let me know on the comments what stocks you guys want me to look at. And let me just sign in real quick. Right, so let's take a look at Twitter. What earnings do we have tomorrow? I don't think there's anything too crazy tomorrow. What do you think correlation between what do you think of correlation between dollar and the stock market? So those type of questions, right? I wouldn't say I have too much knowledge on. At the end of the day, I'm just looking for overall good stocks to invest in. And that's pretty much it, right? I'm looking for good companies, strong fundamentals, strong market that they're hitting, and companies I see are expected to grow in the upcoming years. Pana, so Futu pre-market. Oh, they do have earnings tomorrow, right? Wednesday. Actually, tomorrow seems pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I thought tomorrow was Thursday already, but we have JD.com doing before the market opens. I know JD is pretty popular. Target, Lowe's, we're seeing a nice amount of retail stores doing today. We had, for example, Walmart, this morning. The Home Depot, right, also was this morning. So we have Target and we have Lowe's. We have a few semiconductors, right? We have analog devices going tomorrow. Futu, like you mentioned, Panawatt, are you bullish in Futu right now? Is this a stock you're liking? And then after market, I feel like this week has been a lot of international companies. For example, we had C Limited, we have Huya, we had NetEase. Tomorrow we have JD, we have Futu, we also have CTO Express. So it seems like a lot of international, even though C is not Chinese, most of them tend to be Chinese stocks for tomorrow. This week it seems like earnings seasons is starting to slow down. I am excited for next week, right? I do believe next week we have some big players. We have Nvidia going on next week, and I think that's probably going to be one of my favorite earnings right now. So I believe Baba is immensely undervalued. What's going on, Tony? How's it going? Hope you're doing good. So I believe Baba is immensely undervalued. What do you think? So Baba is one I've seen a lot of investors talk about recently, right? I personally am just already with a great, I want to say, a decent exposure into Chinese equities, right? So I don't want to increase my overall exposure. But I mean, if we take a look at first just price movements, it's definitely sitting at strong price targets right now. Right here we can see a strong volume. So overall, Baba right now, right, just like most stocks, has definitely seen a crazy pullback. Let me pull up some white charts real quick. maybe we can take a look at Baba, just see how the overall valuation for this company is looking. So first, I want to take a look at price to sales ratio and maybe earnings, right? PE ratio forward. So let's just put them in different metrics. So look, Baba, right? Compared to Baba, if you look at it based on forward PE ratio, is actually cheaper than it's normally been. Even since like July 2019, it's normally in the like 25, in the mid 20s regions. Right now, if you're taking a look at forward PE ratio, it's in the low 20 regions. So I think that's actually pretty impressive. And I can see why many investors might consider Baba a bit of undervalued at the moment. So that can definitely mirror that thought, right? And same at it, looking at it in the price to sales ratio compared to since July 2019, it seems this is the lowest the company has ever been. So let's take another quick look at Baba. Let's see fundamentally how it's looking. So future growth, this company is still expected to grow 16.8% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice growth stock for sure. What else can we see? This company is also profitable. It is positive in cash flow from operations. And if we take a look at its financial health, it's looking, let's see, it seems pretty strong, right? They have about 483 billion Chinese yuans, I'm guessing, compared to $146 billion in debt. Chinese yuans, right? Same currency. So fundamentally, I want to say Baba is definitely in a very strong place. And then if we take a look at it in valuations and in price targets, it's also screaming some form of undervalue. At the same time, right, there are Chinese stocks tend to have some form of, I want to say, some form of undervalued on them based on all the risk. And especially right now, we have seen a little bit more. So let's take a quick look. So price to sales ratio, what is it? Let's take a look at Seeking Alpha. Sometimes I want to say the price to sales ratio, it's dependent on how if it's GAAP revenue or on GAAP revenue. For normally big companies like this, it's a little bit different. So let's see, and GAAP is 3.3. Where was it for? No, it's about the same, right? So here we're taking a look at forward. So forward is 1 year in advance. So that's 3.13. And that would be this one right here. The one taking a look at March 2023 revenue. So they have forward price to sales ratio of 3.3. So you can see here with what I'm looking at, and sorry, I can't really get a name from you. But you can see forward price to sales ratio between these two sites are the same. Normally, though, you do see difference in forward PE ratio, and the reason you see difference between forward PE ratio is because you certain sites, Seeking Alpha takes a look at non-GAAP PE, where some companies take a look at GAAP PE. So it's just depending on how they're really looking to calculate those ratios. For growth stocks, I kind of prefer Seeking Alpha. For value stocks, I prefer something that looks at GAAP earnings instead. So what's going on, Viz? How's it going? I hope you had a good day, man. C Limited made a crazy turnaround story, didn't it? That was pretty insane, Viz, for C this morning. I thought we were gonna see around 200, a little bit less than 200 before a bounce back. I think we got as low as 205 today for C Limited. Let's take a quick look. C stock. So right, it definitely dropped down all the way to 204 for the day. And then it just made that crazy run up 11% for those that purchased down around those prices. So it's already been a crazy return in just a day for certain investors. And I did enjoy their earnings. Fizz, let me take a quick look at what Ark just sold. Let me just put you guys on hold real quick. I want to see their overall things. I think I could be able to close this. All right, so you guys should be able to see it again. So what did Ark Invest do today? So they have been buying Stone. Stone is one I'm enjoying, and they actually bought a nice percent. This was probably 0.3% of their ETF in the ARKF funds. What else are they buying? They bought some Square, another decent position here. They're selling some of the slower growers, right? Like Apple. They're getting rid of Apple. What else? RXRX. This is one a lot of investors have been talking about. I was just looking at them real quick. Not one I truly understand, so I don't know if I'll do a video. They actually did buy more Tesla. They're buying DraftKings. This is, come on guys, we can give them 20 likes. TF for sure. TF, make sure guys, if you guys are here, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does help a lot with the channel. So what else we can see? I know someone was mentioning that they're not a huge fan of Ark still buying Coinbase, but look, it's not stopping. Today they added another 0.14% of their portfolio into Coinbase. What else are they buying? Beam, I haven't really followed it. They did sell out of Huya. Screw you, Ark. You guys can sell out of Huya. They're selling out of Nintendo as well. I don't know how big of the positions these are right now. I know Nintendo is more of a slower grower, so they're still focusing on higher growth stocks right now, it seems. They are buying NIU, a very small position. What else? They're buying Path a lot. They sold out of Workhorse. They sold out of Space. They sold out of Autodesk. They bought some more Twilio. Twilio is another one killing it. They just recently announced an acquisition, right? I don't know how many of you guys have been following Twilio. Again, some more coins, some more DraftKings. They actually sold pins. They sold Fastly. I think this is their last shares of Fastly that they're getting rid of. What's going on, Kim? How's it going? So yeah, they're selling out. Jose, my apologies for not asking questions unrelated for not asking questions unrelated. But have you experienced YouTube estimate revenue not reflecting memberships and super chat? Jose, my apologies for not asking questions. Feel free to ask whatever, right? Obviously, if I don't want to answer, I'm not. But normally I try to be as transparent. Well, have you experienced YouTube estimated revenue not reflecting memberships and super chat earnings? I normally I don't get too much memberships or super chat earnings, so it doesn't really affect much of my YouTube revenue. So I really haven't seen if I'm experiencing any lack of it, for sure. So sorry, I couldn't answer that question too much, just because I don't experience much revenue from those two types of revenue right now. Hopefully in the future, I might get better memberships and super chat earnings, but at the moment, no. So what's going on, guys? Did you guys have a good day today? I mean, I'm pretty sure most growth stock investors did. I mean, we had some. Let's take a look at Trading View. Uh, Tattoo Chef, right? Tattoo Chef was up 10% today. EV company, the SPAC ACTC was up 8.6%. What else do we have? We have NIO was up 4%. We have CrowdStrike. A lot of these I'm really enjoying. Carry up 1200. Nice, great carry. Definitely a great day. Was it just the overall portfolio for you, Carrie? Or was it a specific company that really pulled you up? C definitely helped out as well. C is a tier 1 for me. Unity might be finally breaking out of that 80 regions. Hopefully it goes back over 90. But again, it's long-term investor, not to worry. ATER was up 20% and I'm still down 37% in about a month. It's crazy how things like that work, right? Carrie, are you Mr. Bear? What's going on, Mr. Bear? On mobile. Oh, gotcha. PSFE and IPOE. Yeah, PaySafe and IPOE, right? If we take a look at both of them, did nice today. Anonymous SafeMoon is the one that got you, right? Oh my goodness. Let's see. Hold on. I don't know how I can ban this guy. Maybe there. No, that didn't do anything. Add user on this channel. Did that help? What, Jose? What's going on, Jose? So hopefully this guy is banned. Let me know if he. There we go. Okay. What do you think about Coinbase? So Coinbase, Jose, I don't personally, I haven't invested in it, right, Jose. But I can see why certain investors are super excited, right? I recently just did an episode on Coinbase, but first let's take a look, right? It and Ark, right? Ark is investing heavy. First thing is they're super positive in cash flow from operations. I believe that is super insane. Their cash flow from operations margins. I think there might be a small error here in this value, but their margins are super strong. They are profitable. They're expected to grow at crazy levels, and their financial sheet is super strong. So fundamentally, Jose, I really do enjoy Coinbase. At the same time, though, as a market, again, right, when I look at stocks, I look at three things. I take a look at fundamentals, I take a look at what the company, the actual market is in, and then maybe I take a look at a bit of technicals, right? Technicals don't seem too well for technicals, right? Don't seem too well for Coinbase. It just keeps dropping. Fundamentally, it's in a great thing. Coinbase, I think right now with the overall crypto is still volatile, right? Right now, I do think the volatility is going to help this quarter on Coinbase. But if this volatility continues on a downturn, it's probably going to deter a lot of people from getting into Coinbase, which at the end of the day is going to prevent less trades and is going to make less fees for the company. So I think that company is just so volatile. They kind of mentioned it in their earnings that they're seeing a lot of competition in that market too. So again, fundamentally, the company looks great, right, Jose? The market as a whole, that's a whole different story. And I think that's more of individual investors determining if that's something they're willing to risk on or kind of invest on, right, Jose? So are you in the stock? Again, that doesn't mean it's a bad investment. It's just not one I personally would invest in. Kim Jr. 22222. I'm not sure if that's an amazing. Hopefully, I don't know what that is. So Open, I believe Open is a quite undervalued as well. Seeing its sales multiple is even less than that of Redfin. Apparently, Open has got more revenue growth than Redfin. But remember, I have taken a look at Open, right? Let's take a look at both these stocks, and maybe here it might be better on Lazy FA. Let's do Chart Machine real quick. Let's take a look at No, I want to take a look at Redfin. Let's take a look at Redfin and Open real quick. Oh, Kim, is that what I'm singing all the time? Yeah, I kind of do that. I feel like one thing I've learned over time, my wife actually has noticed me do that a lot. But I hate to have quiet white spaces when streaming. So if I'm not saying anything, I'm usually just using that to have some form of white noise in the background. So we have Redfin right here. We have Open. Let's compare it with Open. So quarterly data. Why does Open? I mean, I don't think this is correct. Does Open have more revenue than Redfin? I did not think that. Does it? Is this real? I personally thought Redfin was a lot bigger than Open. There we go. I'm saying it right there. Wow, I did not know that. So let me take a quick look. Let me make sure freaking Lazy FA is not lying to me. So Redfin, Open, if we take a look at trailing 12 months revenue, it was about $2 billion. What is Redfin at? Wow, it actually is. I did not know that. So Open is quite undervalued, as well as seeing its sales multiple is even less than that of Redfin. Apparently, Open has got more revenue growth than Redfin. All right, so now this has got me a bit intrigued. Definitely. Let's do a duplicate. Let's take a look at them side by side, and really see what's happening with this company. I did not know that that Open was that big of a player compared to Redfin. And Jose, do you have Coinbase right now, or are you looking to enter into the company? Again, my thoughts should not really deter you. Uh, it's just, again, just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean it's a bad investment. It just means that it doesn't fit my overall portfolio. TF, where in stock cycle do you think we are overall right now? Crypto and stocks, keep up the good work from UK. TF, thank you from the support all the way from UK. Isn't it time? Isn't it like super late in UK right now, or are you guys super early? I think you guys are it's probably like midnight, more like early morning, right? TF, get some shut eye, man. Furthermore, Open plans to extend its market twice as much as 2020 by the end of 2021. I mean, we are going to take a look at these two. These two are now catching. I didn't know Open was that big of a player. So TF, what stock cycle do you think we are in? I mean, overall, the long term, I still think we are in a bullish market. I don't see any secular bear market anytime soon right now. In the crypto, I don't know. And maybe in the short term of things, right? In the super short term of things, growth stocks might be experiencing a small bear market. But overall, I think in the long term, we're still in an uptrend. And again, that's just my thoughts. I'm definitely not a financial advisor at all, or an expert in stuff like that. But at the moment, I have no worries about my growth stocks or any of my stocks at the moment. Super late, 3 a.m. That is insane. And guys, while you're here, I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at how many people are on right now. This was a super random stream, so I'm pretty sure it's a low number. But make sure to hit that thumbs up, guys. It really does appreciate with the overall algorithm on YouTube. So let's take a look at Redfin versus Opendoor. So first, let's start off with future growth. So future growth, let's look at both Redfin and Opendoor. So Redfin is expected to grow 26.9% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. Opendoor is expected to grow 35.2%. So we see Opendoor is expected to grow at faster levels in form of revenue. If we take a look at forecasted annual earnings, Redfin is expected to grow faster. Now let's take a look at who is profitable and who is not. So right now, it does seem like we saw, right? Opendoor right now has about $2 billion of trailing 12 months revenue, where Redfin has about 1 billion, right? So Opendoor is almost 2 times bigger, and Opendoor is also expected to grow a little bit faster. One thing that I am seeing is Redfin, it seems to be, Redfin is expected to be profitable soon, when Opendoor is not. And Redfin, they both are on and off in cash flow from operations. So future growth, I want to give it to Opendoor. Now let's take a quick look at the overall health. Both of them, I'm hoping, have a strong balance sheet. And first thing we're gonna see is Redfin has about $1.4 billion of cash, $1.2 billion in debt. So almost a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, if we take a look at financial health for Open, it's actually a whole different story. You have $2.1 billion of cash and short-term investments compared to $733 million in debt. Open definitely does look a lot more attractive than Redfin, for sure. This is pretty interesting. Now let's take a look at metrics. So let's take a look at Opendoor and let's take a look at Redfin. I want to take a look at forward price to sales ratio. Let's see if we can, none of them are profitable. So let's take a look at PS ratio forward, and maybe we can also take a look at EV to EBITDA forward. So EV to EBITDA is definitely not a good one. But price to sales ratio, if we take a look at price to sales ratio, Opendoor is a lot cheaper than Redfin. That's again another weird thing. So Opendoor does seem interesting right now in forms of valuation. Now what I want to take a look at is actual margins. Let's take a look at gross margins. Who is collecting more money overall from their everyday business? I'm gonna expect Redfin to be here, to be the highest one here. Let's compare this to Opendoor. Let's take a look at quarterly data. This is the past few quarters. Redfin tends to have a little bit higher gross margins than Opendoor, right? We see Redfin at 15.8. We see Opendoor at 13. I don't think that's such a huge gap, but previous quarters Redfin tends to have higher gross margins than Open. So I'm guessing that's why investors are willing to pay a little bit more for Redfin than Opendoor. But I do think both of them seem pretty attractive. So this is actually pretty good. Is there any other stock you guys want to take a look at today? Feel free to let me know. And let me sign into something real quick, guys. I just want to see something. And guys, while you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It really does help a lot with the channel. Feel free to post on the comments, right? We can take a look at any stocks you guys want. I don't think I have any real stocks I personally want to look at right now. But I really did enjoy that Redfin versus Opendoor. Open has the Chamath discount. His companies are also shorted, and a lot of retail investors are just done with him. So that Chamath discount, it might be helping Opendoor right now, right? It does seem a bit undervalued. The two he mentioned, or she, I sorry, I can't tell by the name. But he mentioned Opendoor and Baba, and both of them seem pretty attractive in forms of valuation. So are you guys, what are you guys doing right now? Are you guys buying anything this upcoming few days? Are you guys expecting any great earnings? Like we saw earlier today, right? Earnings are, I feel for this week, not too much. We have JD tomorrow. We have Futu tomorrow, but nothing that really excites me. Or for the rest of this week. Is anybody looking for any other week? Again, I might be butchering. My apologies. Fizz, I'm gonna go shower. Now, but you should look at Michael's. Yeah, Fizz. Yeah, Michael's. Okay, get out of here. Go take a shower, man. JR, I'm out of cash. JR, do you normally purchase on a weekly basis, or do you usually go in all at once? I know certain people like to put money to work. Very similar to me. I put money to work now every 2 weeks, opposed to weekly, how I used to do. Just the way some of my income has changed. But I'm putting money every 2 weeks into the market. And I'm going to continue to do that. I normally don't do big investments, but I know some people like to do that. Is that something you do, JR? Or Junior? But we can see. And what else do we have? Today, Berkshire, I don't know if you guys follow. Fizz, you're also out of cash. I don't know if you guys follow overall hedge funds. I only see things in Twitter from time to time. But Berkshire just reported their quarter one things. And they did purchase a few stocks. They did sell out of some other stuff too. So first thing, their biggest position is still Apple at 43%. There's no change to it. Some of the biggest changes, they continue to sell out of banks. Wells Fargo's, for example, they had, it seems now they're super small position, that pretty much nothing. Chevron, I think they also closed out. They closed out a lot of energy stocks. They did purchase a few stocks. They bought KR, which I think it's Kroger, right? Kroger, the overall grocery store. They purchased some Verizon. They purchased AONE, which is in the finance industry, MMC, which is in the finance industry, and RH as well. So they barely did any purchases this week. JR, I'm working on the house projects. Smart move. What kind of house projects are you working overall? Same as well, but upon getting cash, plan to invest in Baba and Open. Not gonna lie, you got me pretty excited about those two. Baba and Open. I don't normally invest in. I don't know how much I would invest in them or if I would buy them, but they're actually gonna be in the back of my mind for sure. Plus, had a big tax bill. Oh man, JR, those are always the worst, right? Oh man, it's insane. Tax bills suck. Especially when you thought you paid all your taxes and then it hits you hard and it's like, yep. Daniel, you recently bought EVBG. It's down on broader tech selling trends. I haven't really heard of that one. Let me take a quick look at what they do. EVBG stock. So Everbridge is a software company. It's an enterprise software company that offers applications which provide information about critical events to help with personal safety and business continuity. That's pretty cool. I'm guessing like big, maybe like oil farms might use them. Let me take a quick look at what they do. I want to look at their website real quick just to get a better. So it's public warnings. Public warnings, okay. Keep employees safe everywhere. Alerts residents. Greystone, you bought some Intel and Academy stock. I don't know which one is Academy, Greystone. That one seems pretty interesting. But let's see. Let's see. Solutions. Keep employees safe. Return to work safely. Oh, this one seems pretty active shooter preparedness. Traveling employee safety, due decay, lone worker safety, campus safety. This is a pretty cool market for sure. Now let's take a look at the stock. So this has a small market cap of $4.3 billion. Super small. It is up 2% today on 2% on the day. But we can see from its 52-week high, the stock is down about 30%. Let me close some of these stuff out real quick. I don't think we need everything here. Let me close just to see, keep things clean. So if we take a look, this is EVBG. I just want to see the overall fundamentals for this company. Polly, good afternoon. Hope your last 2 days have been great. Polly, even when financially in the stock market, it has done great. But even when it's red, I'm still having a great day, right? That's the long-term mentality. 24.1% revenue growth for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice hyper-growth stock. They are positive in cash flow from operations. So that's actually pretty cool. No problem for addressing your questions. I appreciate the support, and my apologies for completely butchering the name. Definitely no disrespect intended. I do appreciate the support, and any questions you do have, I am glad to answer. So this is right. We're taking a look at EVBG, positive in cash flow from operations, strong future growth. Now, what I really want to see is if they have a strong balance sheet. So if we take a look at their balance sheet, they have about $734 million in cash and about $638 million in debt. So they are not leveraged. I honestly wish their balance sheet was a little bit stronger. They had a little less debt and a little bit more cash. But overall, fundamentally, that strong growth, the market they're hitting is actually also pretty cool, and the stock price is down a nice amount. Daniel, this is actually a pretty cool. I've never heard of this company, but this one seems pretty cool for sure. Thank you for sharing it. Is this? Yeah, so I that's pretty cool, right? Just unfortunately, right, we live in this world where disasters continue to happen. So a company like this is definitely needed. And especially again, just probably from school campuses like we saw, actual works. The amount of disasters that are happening right now, unfortunately, is not well. But a company like this can continue to strive with it. So Daniel, this one seems pretty interesting, especially for such a small market cap. I want to take a quick look at ownership as well. Institutions own a big portion of this company right now. So the big players are already in the game on this one. So Daniel, if I may, Daniel, if I may ask, is this like a big position in your portfolio? Is this a small position, a medium-sized position? And are you thinking of adding more over time? And let me see what other questions I saw. Taco, you bought more Wish and GNOG on Thursday when the market was red. Taco, if I may ask, again, I'm not a fan of Wish. I know there's a lot of investors in that stock, and I do believe it's done great in the past few days. Actually, no, after earnings, right, it kind of went down. But why, Taco? Okay, right, not attack. I really just want to understand, why are you bullish on Wish? Is it just fundamentals? Is it just more price action, or is it a long-term investment? So I don't understand the question tapering. Tapering, unsure how much fluctuation once tapering takes place. I honestly can't say I know what that means. Um, I might have experienced it, maybe used another name for it, but I can't. I really don't understand what that concept of tapering is. It's JR. It's a kitchen renovation. Bought a shed too. Nice. Those kitchen renovations. I feel when you have a great kitchen, a new kitchen, it's just like a whole refresh on the house. So hope that goes well. JR for sure. Greystone, I bought some Intel Academy stock. ASO at ASO. Let's take a quick look at ASO real quick. Academy Sports and Outdoors. Um, do do do. Is this a retail store of sports? So Academy Sports. Let's take a quick look at what this company does. So ASO. Academy Sports and Outdoors operates as sporting goods and outdoor recreational product retailers in the United States. Okay, so it's in the retail market. We can tell future growth. This is a company not growing at any fast levels, 3.5%. This is probably more if you're looking for not much fluctuation, I'm guessing, in the market, and looking for something stable. As inflations continue to go up, not continue to go up, as talks of inflations continue, stocks like this tend to do well, right? Where they're profitable, already have a history of profitable, when they are positive in cash flow from operations. So stocks like this are ones I would probably look at once I feel I'm too growth heavy. At the moment, even though probably most of my portfolio is growth heavy, I'm still not at that stage yet. But fundamentals, we can see, right, not much growth around, but it's already a stable company. If we take a look at it, does it have a form of dividend? No, I would have wished or expected a form of dividend to some extent. Financially, let's take a quick look at their financial health. The company has about $337 million of cash and about $800 million in debt. So it's almost a 2-to-1 leverage. Not a huge fan, but they are profitable and they are positive in cash flow from operations. ASO, I don't think is one I would enjoy in my portfolio. Maybe it's completely undervalued. Let's take a quick look at the company. Maybe its valuations have dropped like crazy compared to where it's normally been. So PE ratio forward. No, it's actually higher than it's. Let's see. It's kind of higher than since February, since pre-COVID, it seems, on its forward PE ratio. So again, this doesn't mean it's a bad investment, just not something I personally would like to look at it. All right, so inflation takes place, discount rate in DCF and discounted cash flow rises, then valuations falls. So for me, I don't really follow the DCF valuation method. A lot of investors that I follow that have done well in growth during multiple market trends don't really follow that market. So I wouldn't say I've been investing for what I want to say 7-8 years, and I don't think, I mean, interest rates haven't really risen throughout these past decades. So I personally haven't, right? I'm still too young to really have experienced it. The overall fear of inflation risk increase, I have. But the actual concept of seeing high interest rates, I don't think I personally have experienced that. Daniel, this is a medium-sized position for me. Started off small, and I plan to keep adding. Daniel, I do think that one seems pretty interesting, right? It's definitely one that's pretty quiet. I don't think many people might know about it, and I can see why you might be bullish in that company for sure. Let's see what else. Do we have any other stocks? If I might have missed some, feel free to post on the comments, guys. And like always, I'm pretty sure I sound like a broken record, but make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does help a lot with the overall YouTube algorithm. And if there's one way to support the channel, it's definitely that way. I mean, again, if you guys, Polly, all right, you mentioned one. Here we have. So Polly, want to take a look at SRNG, Ginkgo Bioworks. Any thoughts? Hi, Jose. What are your thoughts of Vuzix? What's going on, Kevin? We can take a look at Vuzix next. Vuzix's pretty. I like it for the overall market. Maybe not. We'll take a quick look at its valuation in a bit. But I am a huge fan of the augmented reality market for sure. And I know Vuzix. Hopefully it's Vuzix, the company with the AR glasses. That one I can see grow continuous. I can see the growth from here. So especially right now, again, let me just make sure that's the right company before I go on a ramble for it. Vuzix, yeah, so it is that the eyewear. Right now, I think Google today announced that they're really pushing into augmented reality compatibility on some of their phones. I think Google did the Google I/O or whatever it was called today. They mentioned a good portion of AR today. Apple, on their most recent earnings, or I think their most recent presentations, they also mentioned how they're strengthening their hardware to really focus on AR as well. So now it seems like the overall customer base or the consumer base is ready for the augmented reality and the virtual reality world. So companies like this, like Vuzix, are ones I'm excited about, but I haven't made a much of a play on the stock itself, right? The stock has definitely taken quite a beating right now, down 45%. Might be worth a look for me, and we'll take a look at the fundamentals in a bit. But first, I want to take a look at polys. We can take a look at SRNG real quick. So this one is a SPAC, Poly. Is it? Yeah, it looks like a SPAC. Am I looking at the right run? SRNG. Also bullish on RCM. Man, Daniel, we'll also take a look at that one. You've been giving some pretty cool plays right now. So, Polly, I'll wait for this. It seems SRNG is a SPAC merger. Who are they merging with? All right, let's. I normally don't. You mentioned Ginkgo Bioworks. Normally, I don't invest in the overall biotech market right now. It's not a market I'm too familiar with. So, especially when it has to deal with genetic engineering. That's to produce bacteria with industrial applications. That alone is a market I'm not familiar with. So normally I don't touch them. Poly, right? Markets like this, I'd rather, if I'm bullish in the overall genetic market. What's going on, Big Buck? Big Buck, I'm not gonna lie. I've missed you. I've missed you, man. Main reason I'm doing these streams is to have you once in a while. So Big Buck, I hope you're doing well, man. It's been a long time. Again, I think today was a great day for your portfolio, hopefully. So hopefully things are doing well. But yeah, so like I was saying, this is a market I don't follow too much. Polly, I don't think I can give you any information on it. So what else do we have here? So Kevo, you want to take a look at Vuzix. So Vuzix, like I mentioned, right? It's definitely doing well. Green for me. It's been the past 2 days have been pretty strong. Hopefully it's a strong week, right? I want the overall week to be strong, to be green for the week, because normally we have some nice green days followed by some heavy red days where the week as a whole tends to be bad. But if we have, I want to say, at least one green week, I'll be super pumped for sure. So let's take a look at Vuzix right now. So right, they manufacture, market, and sell augmented reality wearable display. I think this is a strong market for sure. The future potential of it is where I'm at it, right? Maybe not, excuse me guys, maybe not where the company is at right now, but the potential it could be is where I would invest in Vuzix personally. Future growth. This company is expected to grow 41% on average for the next 2 to 5 years. This company, unfortunately, is not profitable. It's not positive in earnings. So when it's not profitable, positive earnings, and it's not expected to get there anytime soon, right, Kevo? This to me is what I would consider a speculative play. Speculative plays, I don't think are bad. It just means they have higher risk than some of my other plays. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna invest in them. It's just that I have to understand, hey, this is not making money anytime soon. This is not going to be profitable anytime soon. We have talks of higher interest rates right now. So companies like this are going to be very volatile to news, right? So if I ever did decide to get into Vuzix, at the moment it's at right now, it would probably be a small to maybe at most medium-sized position. If we take a look at financial health, the first thing I would want to see is almost no debt and high cash. And I do think that's where it's at, right? So right now the company has about $132 million in cash, no debt to their name. So fundamentally, this is where you want it to be. Very, very strong balance sheet. Now, if I want to take a quick look at ownership, general public owns most of it. The second biggest shareholder is the founder and the CEO, yet he only owns about 4.5% of the business. I honestly would have wished a little more growth, but it's a little more heavier side from insiders, especially since it's a $1 billion market cap company. But hey, you can't win them all. So fundamentally, definitely looks great. It's just more fundamentally looking at it in a speculative play, for sure. Maybe if we take a look at price to sales ratio for this company, this is Vuzix. Let's see what we can pull up. So as time has progressed, its price to sales ratio is still pretty high compared to the norm, right? I mean, it was sitting around, I want to say maybe that's 10.8 in May or September of 2020. Now it's a lot higher, but I do want to say right now we are seeing that the consumers and more big players are kind of moving into that augmented reality world. So that's a reason for the overall price jump. Maybe that's why price sales ratio is a lot higher right now, but it still seems a bit overvalued compared to where it's normally been. Again, it doesn't mean it's not gonna go higher. It just means, again, something to say, hey, there is a little more risk here because of valuation. There's a little more risk here because it's considered my speculative play. So okay, well, those are my thoughts for sure. So hopefully you found some use to them. Oh, by the way, what do you think of Airbnb? Airbnb stock price has gone down to the point of that of IPO. I do believe Airbnb, I actually just did a video on them, guys. And if you guys are new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I post videos daily. Sometimes I might go overboard and do 2 videos and even stream 2 times a day. So feel free to subscribe. Make sure to hit the thumbs up. But Airbnb, I just did a video on them. I really do enjoy it. I don't know why it's not in my portfolio right now. I mean, strong growth right now with things kind of reopening. Every time, right? I try to go out or look for vacations. The first thing my wife or my friends and I look at is, hey, is there a good Airbnb? It kind of has become this kind of normality when looking at vacations. Be like, oh, let's also check Airbnb for if there's any stays. And I feel like that brand awareness is something that's not going to go away anytime soon. And if we take a look, the overall stock price, right, we can see, well, first, let's take a look at stock price for Airbnb. Airbnb. Right, it's kind of sitting at IPO levels, IPO closing day levels or around there, right? Definitely a lot of volume. I want to say, right, there's no volumes below 130. So 130, I would say, is a super, super important price, I want to say, for this company. So it's definitely seen a crazy pullback. If we take a look at future growth, let's see, the company is expected to grow 22.9% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice hyper growth stock. Unfortunately, the company is not profitable, but they are positive in cash flow from operations, right? So that's super, super great news. If we take a look at their financial health, financially, when I did look at their, like I said, I recently looked at them, very strong balance sheet. They have $6.6 billion of cash, $2 billion in debt. So fundamentally in a great place for sure. And again, I could see why investors are bullish in it. Maybe eventually it might make it into my portfolio. I just don't know yet. It definitely has a huge chance of entering my portfolio. Kevo, no problem. Feel free to ask any thoughts. And remember, just because I might not agree with it, and I do think that's the great thing about investment, right? You can listen to other investors and just hear their thoughts. But at the end of the day, those are just their thoughts. Maybe your conviction is different. Maybe you know a little bit more about the company. So your conviction might be a little bit higher. But I do believe it's great to just hear other thoughts and just kind of weigh them in. Not much, but at least put some weight into them as well. Vivian, bull trap. You think so, Vivian? Don't come in with this negativity. I only want green thoughts, right? Do I have to go eat some Lucky Charms tomorrow? Make sure we keep this green days. But it's been 2 days, right? This is like the longest bull market I've seen in the past 2 weeks for growth stocks. In the past 2 months for growth stocks. What else do we have? I know NASCAR. I don't think I can kind of look at those stocks based on YouTube's live streaming, especially since I think it's not something over 18. So I don't think I can look at like alcohol stocks or pot stocks. Not sure if I could. I don't want to risk it for the biscuits, right? Not at all. Star Buccaneers. I always say brand is worth something others than just financials. Agree, Buccaneers. That's definitely a true thing, right? And that's why I've been looking at Airbnb a little bit more and just keeping my eye out, thinking, hey, maybe when I get some more money into the market, maybe that might be a next purchase for me. Shas Khan, where do you see Airbnb in 5 to 10 years as a business, sir? Where would I see it? I mean, it is the online marketplace of right now. It's an online marketplace for just rental, some form of lodging, right? And they are increasing into lodging of. It's even stated into higher stay rate right now, that people are staying for longer stays, right? It's no longer just short-term rental. They mentioned it in their most recent earnings that they're seeing it as long stay rentals as well. So Airbnb, I don't think there can be much innovations in my opinion, Khan, but just the overall growth in market share, I do believe will probably be bigger in 5 to 10 years, right? Like the hotel industry as a whole, I don't think it has seen much innovation. So I don't think Airbnb can. I just can't see it. Maybe, but I guess that's why they have strong leadership. Maybe they can see other markets they can grow into. I can't see how. But I think it's more just market share expansion that's really gonna grow that company, Con, in the next 5 to 10 years. And but again, Airbnb, if it ever does enter my portfolio, I don't think it would ever be a big position. It would be probably like a tier 2 at most. So Jennifer, you want to take a look on Palantir? Let's take a quick look at Palantir. This one is definitely super expensive, but I want to say this is one that's expensive for a form of reason. So Palantir, I know Ark is super bullish on it. This stock hasn't really moved out of that 20 price levels for, I want to say, the past few months. Right, it's in the past 6 months, it's just been, I want to say, let's see, past 1 year, it's 52-week high. The stock is down about 45%. But for the past 2 months, it's really just sitting there in low 20s. And I do want to say this 20, even without looking at real charts, you can see, right, this 20 seems to be a very strong support level for this company. So I do think right now, let's take a look at technicals, PLTR. I mean, this is where I was looking at pretty much, but there is a lot of volume around this level. So I want to say the first thing with these growth stocks correction, it eliminates a good portion of the risk. It doesn't mean stocks can't go any lower, just that risk has been reduced a nice amount. So price right now, it would be a time where if I wanted to enter Palantir, it would be a little bit bigger than smaller positions, so somewhat of a medium-sized position. The company is expected to grow 25.3% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. Huge growth company for sure. The company is not profitable, but they are positive in cash flow from operations. So I'm more of a cash flow from operations type of investor. I'm not saying earnings are not important, but I think making money from its everyday business is more important. If we take a look at financial health, I want them to have a strong balance sheet. This is what I really want to see. And this is what they give me, right? $2.3 billion of cash and short-term investments compared to almost no debt. So what do we have, right? We have a company with strong balance sheet. We have a company growing at strong levels. We have a company that is positive in cash flow from operations. Their market cap is about $40 billion though. So I want to say one of the biggest risks that many investors might give Palantir is their overall valuation, right? If we take a look at price to sales ratio, it's actually cheaper than it's been since January of 2021. I guess there's just not much information right now. Let me just look at a straight price to sales ratio. When did this company go public? So it went public around September, it seems. So we can see right now the price to sales ratio, at current price to sales ratio, it's definitely around its average, I want to say, which is high 20s. Forward price to sales ratio is definitely cheaper than where it's normally been. But still, right, compared to most software companies, I want to say high 20s is still pretty high. Normally you want them to be within like the team levels. That's where most softwares are kind of going into right now. So this is one that fundamentally looks great. Valuation though might be a little bit risky right now still, but that doesn't mean it's a bad investment. It just knows that, hey, it might see it might continue to see volatility swings. But fundamentally, it definitely looked like a strong company. Jennifer, again, those are just my thoughts and definitely not a professional. Roll Taco, what's going on? You want to take a look at RVLV. And guys, also, if you guys just want to ask questions overall, it doesn't have to be about stocks. We have a great community here on the chat. So if you guys have any questions that you guys just want to ask the overall chat, again, I don't think any of us are professionals here, but definitely take advantage of it, right? I enjoy doing these YouTube videos. I enjoy doing these streams because personally, I don't have too many friends to talk about the market, right? Not even though I have friends, not most of them are interested in the market. So when I find a community like you guys, this is when I really want to learn from you guys, talk to you guys. So I definitely recommend, while you guys are on streams, maybe not on my channel, if you guys are streams in other channels, take advantage of the community, ask questions, and see what other investors think. So definitely enjoy that for sure. Shishu, Jose, can you please take a look at the OCN? Shishu, we can take a look at that one. But Roll Taco, I forgot. Roll Taco gave me one too. So Revolve. Is this the super fancy online fashion, right? Online fashion. Again, me, I don't invest in markets I'm not excited about. Pretty sure you can tell by the way I'm dressed. The fashion market is not one. It's not one I personally am bullish on. I can see why certain people are. RNG, has anyone accidentally bought the wrong ticker and found the winner? I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever bought the wrong ticker. Yeah, I don't think so. Here we go again. Star Buccaneers, what do you mean here we go again? What do we mean? So Revolve, if we take a look at future growth, Road Taco Concerts. Oh yes, this is that company, right? That they do also work with segments. Man, this one's a tricky one, right? So they operate as an online fashion retailer for consumers and international, but it operates a platform that connects consumer and global fashion influencers as well as emerging, establishing, and own brands. Let's see. I owned INO and NIO and it was dangerous. Man, JR, that's pretty crazy. Khan, which 3 economic sectors do you think will Mr. Fashion Expert? Not me. Definitely not me at all. I think it was Viz, right? Big Buck Viz himself is the fashion expert. But Khan, 3 economic sectors that I think will be huge in the next decade and why? For me, again, I am, by study, I am an electrical engineer, so I'm probably going to mention a lot of technology markets. The first I'm going to say is mobile gaming. Mobile gaming, I think it's going to continue to grow, right? Because just the ease to be able to everybody now has a phone, right? Not everybody can afford a gaming system. But even in all types of countries, I want to say everybody has some form of phone. So I do want to say that one market I'm very, very bullish on is the mobile gaming market. Another one is going to be, I want to say, the overall form of the helpers, the technology that helps with artificial intelligence, that helps with machine learnings. Right now, that biggest technology is graphics card. So Nvidia overall, because it's kind of because the graphics card really help with the algorithm for machine learnings, the algorithms for artificial intelligence. I do believe the semiconductor industry is one that will continue to grow as well. So those are two. The third I want to say is anything with augmented reality and virtual reality. So those are going to be the three markets I'm really bullish in the next 10 years, for sure. So mobile gaming, things that deal with technology that helps the growth of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and what was the third one I mentioned? And technology for augmented reality and virtual reality. Jen, how old am I? I am 28. Been investing since I was 21. I know you haven't asked, but I do have, my degree is electrical engineering. I pretty much worked since 21 in different electrical engineering firms. But throughout that whole process, I've just been studying the market. Even though my background is not in finance, I probably spent more time reading about stocks, reading 10K reports, reading books about finance than I ever did for my overall engineering degree. So yeah, 28, 29 in a few months. And then my big 30s, right? Roberto, what's going on with Doge? Doge. I don't know. I don't follow it. Definitely not I don't follow too much crypto. I actually don't follow any crypto at all. So sorry I can't help you, Roberto. Are you in Doge? Doge, whatever it's pronounced. Roberto. Can I talk about pins? We were gonna take a look at a few stocks, right? So let's see. I might be getting off soon though, guys. I have been on for an hour, but while you guys are here, I do stream Mondays through Fridays at 9 o'clock in the morning before the market opens, and I take a look at stocks you guys want me to take a look at. Right, today I'm pretty sure we looked at over 6-7 different stocks, and this is pretty much how the streams go. So feel free to join me then. I will be on tomorrow in about 11 hours from now. And I might, depending on the day, I might be streaming at night. These random nights tend to do well. How many people do I have on right now? Let me just take a quick look. I have about 30 people, right? So that's actually pretty impressive. This is how I normally have throughout the day. So as this continues, I will probably also be streaming at nighttime. It really definitely helps out a lot, especially when you guys make sure to hit the thumbs up. What's going on, Ed? Man, this room with all these lights, it starts to get hot in here. I have to go. JR, cool. Work interferes with my day. Yeah, you know, there's Big Buck. It has been a huge supporter for me from Twitch, and I honestly feel bad that he can't make the morning ones. So I am doing these night streams, and I'm happy to see other people. Cell T, hey Jose, how's it going, Cell man? I've definitely seen you in the comments a lot. Thanks for the support. I definitely know, Cell, that you've been on my channel from early stages. So definitely hope everything's good with you. Everything is definitely good with me, Cell T. I definitely appreciate the support and hope everything is good with you. Great to see me at nighttime. Thank you, Big Buck. Thank you. So hold on, we were taking a look at some stocks. MVIS is up there for ARVR. For sure, Celti. I mean, I definitely hear that, but it's not, I don't know why. That company just doesn't call my name. It really doesn't. I just hate that presentations that they have. I don't know. Just by looking at their website, it kind of shows me that management is not really too, I don't know, management doesn't really care too much, right? I feel like an investor's relations presence website should be very, very well detailed, and I don't think MVIS does that. And that's the thing, right? All this cash on stock-based compensation, all this cash being spent out there, and you can't really pay some form of intern or someone to work on that investors relations website. Things like that get me annoyed, and it really, really triggers me, if you couldn't tell. So let's take a look at Revolve, right? Future growth. This company is expected to grow 19.2% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a nice growth stock. They are profitable. They are positive in cash flow from operations. So fundamentally pretty strong already. Profitable, strong growth, positive cash flow. Let's take a quick look at their health. Financially, they're also in a great place, right? This is what I like to see. Taco, hopefully you're still here, and I'm not just talking to people who don't want to see Revolve. But right, $182 million in cash and no debt to their name. So fundamentally, this is definitely in a great place. Now let me take a quick look at the overall stock price. How has it been doing? Overall, I mean, this one, past year, doesn't know what the overall growth stock correction has done to anybody. So it's down 18% from its all-time highs, but it is up year to date, it seems. Not many growth stocks have done that. Up 48%, in the market cap of 3.4. I guess investors are pretty excited as things start to open up for Revolve. Again, I don't know too much about the market it's in. It's a good reopening play, Greystone. So I think that's why it hasn't taken a huge hit from the overall market. Fundamentally, right, Greystone, we saw this is definitely a great company. The overall market itself, I'm not too sure about that. Let me take a quick look at the overall stock price movement. So Revolve right now, right, it is a bit overextended from its medium trend, but from its short term, it's not. So when it's like this, when it's up here, right, when it's completely overextended, that's when I buy super small positions if I really want to enter. Here, so here's super small, here's medium to large. So right now, if I want to get into Revolve, it'll be with a small position and add up over time. Q told me about Revolve last year at 16. I should have kept my position. RJ, Q has been a beast. That's insane, right? 16. I'm pretty sure we've looked at it in the stream since then at those prices, right? So this is one of those stocks that has definitely been growing, and it's not stopping one bit. Don, what book courses do you recommend for self-learning about the financial markets? I'm currently doing something similar to you, but instead of electrical engineer, I'm doing MD. Thanks, bro. Wow, MD, that's pretty impressive. Doctors, I feel, are a completely different level. So, Khan, I mean, there are a few books. If you want to join my Discord channel, I don't know if you are on my Discord channel. Let's go to my channel real quick. Let's see. And now I forgot who mentioned it. Man, live stream. All right, let's go here. Let's go. First, I definitely would recommend, Khan, if you're not in my Discord channel, let me share the link with you. Join it. It's free to anybody that wants to join. And then when you are on my Discord channel, there is here on the channels, I have something called resources. Here on resources, I kind of talk about my favorite books. So top books for learning stocks, top books for learning how to read a business sheet and stuff like that. So here I have 4 books, and these are the places I would kind of start off. And I also have other websites. And so then from these 4 books, I feel within those 4 books, you're gonna get more books to read. So definitely recommend joining that and just checking out the resources chat. So guys, though, right now it is 10:40 here. I am gonna call it for the night. Because you guys were pretty awesome today. I'm pretty positive I'm gonna be live streaming tomorrow at this time as well, around 9 o'clock, 9:30 at night. So thank you guys. I do hope I see you guys tomorrow. If I didn't look at your stocks, I'm sorry. By this time, I already get some form of brain fog that it doesn't really. I start to slow down, and I start to twist my words more than I normally already do. But thanks so much, guys. I definitely appreciate the support. If you guys haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. So take care, guys, and see you next time. And Big Bug, thanks for passing by. I'm happy you were here.